So today we're going to be making a silk floral arrangement, perfect for Mother's Day, or just to have in your home for spring and summer. We're bringing in these white cherry blossoms and these beautiful coral and orange globosa sprays. So a little bit different color palette than your normal, pink and lavenders and all the things. So I think it turned out beautifully. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I'm going to drop you down and let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be doing a really pretty an arrangement. I thought it would be perfect for Mother's Day. Since Mother's Day will be here before we know it. But it doesn't have to be a Mother's Day. It could be a birthday. It could be anything. Just a really pretty floral arrangement. And we're going to be doing something for the orange and yellow and white lovers. Around spring, you always see so many pinks and purples and lavenders and fuchsias, which are gorgeous. But we often forget about the beautiful corals and oranges and yellows. And so I thought we would pull in those colors today with this design. So something just a little bit different for those who are not into the, pinks and purples. We're going to do some orange and corals and greens and whites and those sort of colors. So we are going to start with this little wild garden spray. And we're just going to be using this little metal compote. We do have these in the shop. These are new. It's just a little metal compote, but use whatever container that you have. Any small container will work. The larger the container, the more florals you'll need. Just keep that in mind. But use whatever you have around the house. Okay? In your stash. So this is probably going to be the tallest flower. Let me see if I can adjust up just a hair so you can see the height on this. This will be our tallest piece, so this will be the height of the arrangement. And I am leaving the green around these. I like the greenery on this stem. Very pretty. I'm just going to cut these down a little bit. Okay, and I want to get this one added right in here. It's going to be lower, kind of coming off to the side. And then let's get this one at a diagonal this way. This is gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to get another piece here. And we're going to go towards the front. Well, it's going to be 360. I call it front, but it's facing me. Now, we're going to turn it. So it'll be pretty on all sides, no matter which way you have the arrangement. All right. I'm not going to add a bow to this, but if you wanted to add a bow, you could. I'm just going to leave it floral. I love the movement. Okay, so we've got our main flowers. Let's add a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to be going in with a little bit of this cottonwood spray or cottonwood bush. I've got a few pieces left from another project. So I'm going to get these added. I may have to open another one, but we'll see. And then I think I'm going to pull in maybe a rose leaf into this as well. Okay, I've got those cut up. Let me look at this rose leaf real quick. I think I may want to get it added first. Because these pieces that I have left of that cottonwood are the smaller pieces. So those are going to be really good filler. So I'm going to cut up some of this rose leaf. I think I'm going to keep this piece pretty much together. We'll see. But I think we can get it kind of right in the center here. Just work it around our leaves without having to break it up and keep it all together. I'm just kind of blending those together on these. We want to turn the leaves where we want them. Okay, let's get another piece. Now I will start cutting them up because I'm going to want to be a little bit more strategic on where I place them. Okay, I'm just going to start kind of going around. I'm putting these in kind of at different directions. I have to cut this one down just a little bit. Clean it up a little. I'm gonna fix this rose leaf here in the center. I want it coming out a little. I want it coming out at me a little bit. Pretty already? We just started. All right, we have some little twigs that came with this rose leaf. So I love my twigs and I love my berries. So we are definitely going to get these added. And y'all, if you hear background noise, I do apologize. We've got construction going on out the ranch here. And so you're going to hear the trucks. I'll try my best to edit out some of the sound, but this one I'm going to put on my left. Just tucking that little twig in there like that. Isn't that fun? A little bit more of the rose leaf. I'm going to come out with this to kind of hug that flower right there. It's giving it a little bit of support there. And I'm going to come with this one up right under that flower. We have some other things we're going to be adding in here, so I will probably stop here in just a second on the greenery and let's get some other things added and we'll come back to it for filler. Okay. So pretty. Let's save this piece. I still have our little ivy here, but I think before I add my ivy, I want to add a couple. So I have a couple of these sort of coral. I don't know what they are. I got them at Michael's probably 2 or 3 years ago, and it just says bush. It says summer bush. So I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get some of these cut up and added. It's going to tie in nicely with the sort of the coral color of that flower. I don't know how many of these we'll use, but I'm just going to cut up the rest of it. I'll use some of this in a wildflower wreath that we made in our private design group. Turned out gorgeous. I'll show you guys at the end. If you guys are interested in learning more about silk floral design, wreaths, swags, all the things, we would love to have you in our private group. We have a platform that is dedicated for the group. There's already a full library of tutorials. We do offer a free 3-day trial, so if you just want to go in and take a peek and see what it's all about, we would love to have you do that. Okay, I'm just going to kind of place these in various places. I am going to get a taller one. Let me find my tallest piece. Like this one, right in the center. but not going straight up, sort of at a diagonal. And I do think I want a taller piece coming up like here, but you can see we've got a short stem. So we're going to need to make our own stem for this. So I'm going to get a floral pick. This is something we've done in the design school. I'm just going to take this little copper wire, wrap it around, and then I'm going to get my floral tape. So sometimes you have to make your own. You have to make your own picks. If they're not long enough, just break out that floral tape and your wire. If you don't want to use a wooden pick, you can just get one of your scrap floral wires and use that. We all have those little scrappy pieces laying around. Okay, so that's going to be perfect. I'm going to get that added right in here. So that's going to give me a little bit more height, closer to this tall one. Pretty. So pretty. Okay, I've got one more. I want to see where I want to get it added. I think we're going to get it added low down here. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful already. Okay, let's go in now. I brought this little poppy berry pick. I think we're going to use some of the pieces. I don't know if we're going to use. It has a really pretty coral poppy, which is why I grabbed it. But it also has a darker orange. I'm not sure if we're going to use the darker orange pieces, but we might. Let me just cut them up. Has a couple of yellow pieces. But I like the little greenery bits on it. And I love this little poppy that's in our coral color here, which is what I wanted. Okay, let me see where I want this one. I want it kind of, I think, coming out here. Very pretty. Okay, let me see if I want to add our darker colors. I think I'm going to leave the darker ones out. We're just going to go sort of with the coral. I've got the one little poppy in there. I may grab another one of these bushes so I can get 2 poppies out of it. Of course, this is optional because you can find another poppy bush. That's just the only one I have that had that color in it. And then we've got all our little greenery bits, which I love. And I love these little fun little berries. Aren't those cute? So we are definitely getting these added. I'm just going to tuck those right next to our little twig there, right here. Got a bunch of little greenery scraps I had thought about using in here. Okay, now we have this other little berry piece. It's a taller. And we've got this little white flower. So I want to add these taller pieces in here. Okay. We've got some more berries. I'm going to add these probably on what I'm calling my back. So lower down there. And we have this fun little piece. Okay, I'm going to get it added in here. Kind of right next to, so sort of diagonal from this white piece. I'm going to add that one. Now I've got another little piece that has some little white berries. I'm going to get these added back here. right back there. Okay. Now these have some twigs as well. It's got a little greenery bit on their twigs. So let's get these added in the back, or what I'm calling the back, because we have this twig up front. And again, it can go, I'm saying front and back just because of the way it's facing me, but it can go any which direction. You can put this on a table, end table, you can put it against a mantle. I mean, it'll go all over, anywhere you want to put it. But I'd say primarily this is what I'm calling the front. Okay. Gonna keep building it out. I brought in these Globosa sprays. I want to add some of these. Now these are a little deeper color, but I think it still ties in really nicely with our flowers here. So I'm going to get these cut up. It's got a couple little pieces that have more of the softer coral, and then it's got the darker pieces in it too. So the little baby pieces are softer, and then these are brighter. But I think it still ties in nicely. That's why I was kind of waffling up on if I wanted to bring in the brighter orange. And you definitely could. But I think I'm just going to stay with our, I'll save these. Add it to my stash that I got going. Don't you know, we always have all our little floral bits everywhere. Okay, I want another tall piece like we did. So I'm going to get another pick. Because these stems are not very, when you cut them, they're not very long. And I'm going to go right sort of in the center with that one because I want the height on it. Let's get another one. And I'm going sort of at an angle. Filling in sides now. I'm going to go on this side and do the same thing right in here. So we've sort of gone north, south, east, and west, but at different heights. Nothing is matchy-matchy. Okay, so I've got that one now over there. So we've got it north, south, east, west, sort of center. I think I'm going to add this little piece low. Okay. I have one more piece. Let's see where I want it. I think we're going to do it right there next to that little twig. And I almost think this flower right here, I think I want it to come out a little bit more. So I'm going to put it on a pick. The good thing with floral arrangements is, I mean, the sky's the limit on design. It does not have to be symmetrical. You can just make the most beautiful arrangements with the most asymmetrical things that are not matchy-matchy. They're just, you place it where you want it and they can turn out so beautifully. That's why I've really fallen in love with floral arrangements. You can just get so creative with them. So I'm going at a diagonal. Yes, I like that better. So giving it just a little bit more on the side here. Okay. Now I'm going to start filling in with some of these little bits that came with our bush. Has some little berries on it. Okay. Got a greenery, a tall greenery here. I'm gonna go right in the center. Just giving us some different textures in there, different greenery textures. And take that same kind of piece and put it over here. So really the only thing we're not using from that bush is those two flowers, which again is, if you like them, add them. And I may end up doing it here and there. We'll see. See how it looks once we get things going here. Probably not, but I'm not going to rule anything out. Love the colors. Okay, I think we're going to go in and break it up with a little bit of, maybe a little bit of the white. Let me see. I've got a white cherry blossom. Oh, I think that's pretty. Let's use the white cherry blossom. I originally was going to do the cabbage roses, but I think the cherry blossoms are going to look really pretty in here. Okay, I'm going to take my tallest one. Go right there. I'm going to go on the opposite side towards the back. And pop in another one. I'm giving them a bend. Flowers don't grow straight up. You can kind of move them where you want them. I'm giving these a bend. I'm going to go in with another taller piece. I think I want a little bit more height on it. I want to make sure that this is not taller than our, which it won't be, it'll be perfect. Okay. Okay, I have a little baby piece that I think I'm going to put on the side over here. Beautiful. Okay. I have a little yellow piece that came out, and I think it'd be fun to get that added. And I say that, I don't mind the yellow because inside of these has some yellow. You could almost add a little bit more of that. But I'd have to go get another bush, so we'll wait and see. All right, I'm gonna start getting some of this ivy added now. Excuse me, ivy added now. And this is just gonna fill it in nicely. You can see how that ivy just, ooh, I love it. This is one of my favorite bushes, greeneries to use in the spring and summer. I can give it some drape. If you need a little extra stem, you just cut that little leaf off. So I'm going to go around the bottom with it first, and then we'll start incorporating it into the rest of our arrangement. I'll probably have to go get another bush, because I'm going to need the taller pieces. And this was just leftover pieces that I had, so I didn't have the tall pieces. Okay, I got another one. I'm finishing up around my bottom here with a couple of the smaller pieces. Now we're going to start adding some of our tall pieces. And if I had had this in here at the beginning, which I should have, just went and got one, I might have done this in the beginning, but that's okay. You can use it now and use it and see your filler where you need it. So I'm just going to weave some of that through here, taking some of these taller pieces. And this adds nice, these add nice movement to your design. Because you know how ivies grow? Just all over the place. And give your greenery bend. Things don't grow straight. And I want a piece right in here, which I think I'm going to put on a pick. Oh, I love that. Y'all look at the movement on that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. You can add as much or as little as you want. You can have it more airy. I tend to do more cluster designs, although it is on my agenda to do some airier pieces. I just need to practice. We all kind of sort of get comfortable in a certain style. Now this one I'm going to need to put, we get comfortable in sort of a certain style, but I really need to work on getting some more airier pieces in here. There we go. I think I want to add another of this Globosa spray. Don't worry about this. I know you can see probably we got something going here. We're going to add some more ivy there, but I'm looking at this and I feel like it needs a piece of, another piece of this right in here. Let me see if my metal pick will give me the height I need. Okay, I like that. All right, now let's get another ivy piece here. Okay, let's go in the back. Oh, I'm going to need a pick on this one. Okay, there is a part of this rose leaf. I think I'm going to pull a couple pieces of this out. It has there's a couple pieces that are darker and then a couple pieces that are more of a lime green. I don't know if you guys you probably can't see it on the way because of the lighting in here, but it's a little bit more lime green. I'm not liking it in here, so I'm just going to cut them out. Now, a couple of the pieces is okay, they tie in, but there was a couple pieces that really were standing out a little strange. I think I want one longer piece of ivy, but this is too long, so we're going to just trim it down. I cut a little leafy off. I'm going to get it added right in there. Turning out pretty. I think I want to bring in a couple more pieces of trying to decide if I want to add a couple more pieces of the cherry blossom. I think I do. But I also have some little greenery bits from another arrangement that I think if I add in here, it might fill in what I'm needing. So let me just do that before I decide if I want to open another bush. So I'm just adding a couple little pieces of scrap greenery that I have from a different project. So pretty, y'all. So pretty. I mean, what mom would not love this for Mother's Day? Absolutely gorgeous. And the good thing is, with the silk flowers, she will have this forever. It does not die on her like real flowers. I'm just tucking some of the spare greenery I had. Some of them have little white, sort of almost like little white berries on them. So that's tying in nicely with our white cherry blossoms. I'm going to give these little twigs a little love here. Give them a little twist. Okay, I feel like we need something right in here. Have this little fern piece. Have a couple more little scrap ferns that have a few more of these little fern pieces. So let's use them because that kind of filled in nicely a little gap I had. I think I need one right here. So again, breaking out the stem. Breaking out the wooden pick. Okay. Yes, I like that. Okay, so that fern is turning in, tying in really well. Got one more little fern piece. I think I'm going to add in the back here. I wish we were live because this is where I would ask y'all your opinion on if you thought we needed a little bit more of the white cherry blossoms. In one sense, I think we do. And then another, I'm saying we don't. I think we're going to add a few more. I'm finishing up with this little scrap greenery that I got going on real quick. But I feel like we need a few more pieces. the white. And I have a couple of these yellow pieces left. Since we just have that one yellow there, let's add it to bring in another piece of the yellow. I need a pick on that. That way we just don't have the one yellow spot in here. You know, I like to blend everything together. So we're going to bring a couple of these little scrap yellow pieces that I have. And I'm going to get these added here. Tie it all together. Okay, I've got one more of the white cherry blossom. I don't know if we'll use the whole thing, but I want to bring in a couple more pieces. And as it starts getting full, it gets harder to get into that foam. So you just kind of got to part the seas, but make sure you're getting in there so you don't have anything falling out. Kind of want one here on the back. So here's what we have so far. We're building a little bit more of those cherry blossoms in here. I think I want one right there. If you didn't want to do the white, you could just stick with your add more of those. What were those ones called? Wildflower something, I think. Wild Garden Rose Spray. You could add some more of your Wild Garden Rose sprays if you didn't want to do the cherry blossoms. Personal preference. There's no right or wrong. And I really think a lot of it's gonna, once I get it photographed, I say this a lot, so I probably sound like a broken record, but it's very important to look what your arrangement looks like in the pictures, because pictures are what sells. I'm not selling in person here. I sell online. So it really needs to be appealing to the eye. So take your pictures, see what you're missing, see where your gaps are, and then you can fix it. So oftentimes I will tweak it after I do the video for y'all, because I'll take my pictures. And then I'll see what is still needed. So I'm just making this a little bit more wild. A little bit more wild with these cherry blossoms. I think I need this one right here. Ooh, man, that's going to be tough to get that one on a stem, because it's just a little baby bud. I don't think it's going to be long enough, but we'll try it. And all of this from that little bitty container. Let's check our bottom. I don't think you're going to see a thing down there. Nope. Good. So I think we're done. Got one little baby. I may save it for the maybe I can get it in right back here. Nope, I'm going to need to put a pick on it. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to take my photos, see where I might need a little piece, and we'll go from there. Okay, y'all. Here is our finished arrangement. I think it turned out beautiful, perfect for Mother's Day, or just spring, summer designs, you know, on a buffet table or an end table, on your mantle. I mean, it's limitless on where you could put this. But it would also make a very beautiful Mother's Day arrangement. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you're new to our channel, we would love to have you subscribe, that little notification bell. You'll be notified every time we have new tutorials. And let me show you. And this is the wreath that I was telling you about in the video. Sort of our wildflower, meadow, summer, spring, all the things. And everything in your kitchen sink. The type of a grapevine wreath that we are making in our designer circle group. So this one is quite large. But if you're interested in making more elaborate wreaths, arrangements, if you're just interested in silk floral design, we would love to have you in our designer circle group. All the information and the link will be listed down in the description, as well as all of the supplies. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, bye y'all.